the man who could run for mayor of Miami right now and win, the man who has taken South Beach by storm, Skylar Thompson. Now, when we drafted him, and by we, I mean the Dolphins, when they drafted him, I should say, back in late April, we did our little post show after the draft, and I said, I liked Skylar Thompson. I bet a lot of Kansas State games last year, and I liked him. He was gritty. His arm ain't great, but he had some heart. He played with a lot of guts. He left it all in the field. He's one of those guys who didn't have the skill set that is your prototypical NFL quarterback, but man, he knows how to move a team, and he's just a football player. And even I didn't expect this, and nobody was high on him coming out. Even I didn't expect this. Okay, now to the fans that are out there saying, he's our number 2 and get rid of Bridgewater. Well, no, you're wrong. We don't do that because Bridgewater is clearly a better player. But what are your thoughts on Skylar Thompson-Mania taking over South Florida?
Yeah, I mean, it's a cool story, right? Like, I think it's a cool story. And you know what? Maybe the Dolphins found a long-term backup with that 7th round pick, right? Like, I think that's good. That's about as good as you could possibly ask for from a 7th round pick. I'm with you, though. I don't think that there's any universe where he is legitimately better than Teddy Bridgewater. I think people have to understand that he's playing against backups primarily, and this is an offense notorious for propping up mediocre quarterbacks and making them look good. And I am not insinuating that the Dolphins have any mediocre quarterbacks.
That's not a Tua comment. That's a San Francisco Kyle Shanahan offense comment.
I'm not opening.
Everyone sends us hate mail. We're not talking Tua. We're talking this offense that's been run in San Francisco and Atlanta and other places.
Yeah,
prior to coming to Miami.
I'm not opening that can of worms tonight. No. Maybe another time. But yeah, so that's what this offense does, right? Like, it's a lot of play action and easy throws and easy reads. And like, I really don't want to come down like a downer on Skylar Thompson because he's played well for a 7th round pick. Like, he has outperformed his draft slot so far in the preseason. But I think there needs to be a nugget and a grain of realism kind of baked into this discussion because he was a 7th round pick for a reason. And like, he's been good in the preseason. He has made a lot of easy throws in the preseason. I'm not saying he hasn't made any good reads or he hasn't made any hard throws. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying he hasn't made a ton of really difficult throws to prove like, okay, this guy's better than a player like Teddy Bridgewater, who, look, Dolphins fans just have this image of Teddy Bridgewater, of him like being this really bad player. Like, Teddy Bridgewater is probably like, I don't know, the 18th best quarterback in the NFL.
He could start for for Atlanta. He could start for Seattle.
Yep.
Right now, he could start for the Browns until who comes back.
Right.
There's like 6 or 8 teams he could start for.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
So like,
Giants.
I think that this is less about Dolphins. I think this is more about Dolphins fans underrating Teddy Bridgewater. Honestly, like I just don't think people understand that. Like, I mean, he's not good, but like, he can play, and he's going to win games. I mean, he just played last year and threw more touchdowns than Tua. So I mean, I just think that that was a total joke. But my point is, Skylar Thompson's outplayed his draft slot. He looks really good. The Dolphins have depth at quarterback. That's good. There's nothing wrong with that. Tua's the guy. He's the starter. We're going to see what he's got this year. He's the best quarterback on this team. I'm just joking about all that stuff. He is the best quarterback on this team. But you've got a good number 2 in Teddy Bridgewater, and you've got a good number 3 in Skylar Thompson. There's nothing wrong with that. There's no need to blow this out of proportion.